Intuitive sheepdogs, I'm so excited to be bringing this to you. So, from this point on our podcast, it is going to be like an actual radio show, and we are going to be featuring music. And whose music would I want to feature other than a fellow police officer's? Nobody's. And this fellow police officer is a rapper. And listen before you turn your nose up. He's honestly one of the best rappers I've heard. You know I love rap. You know I try to rap. You know that I can't. You know that I think that I'm Nicki Minaj. And, this guy's name is Ariel Freeman. You can find him at One Time Music on Instagram. He gave us this song. He's allowing me to feature his song. It's called Baptized in Blue. I'm absolutely in love with it. His song is going to be at the end of this episode. If you don't even want to listen to my episode, skip all the way to the end, the last 4 minutes. That is going to be where his music is. Please have a listen. Support him. He's absolutely amazing. He has music all on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher. I mean, everywhere. This guy's the real deal, and we need to help him. He is a brother in blue. We need to help him spread the word. I love what this guy is doing. Go check him out. Ariel, you're the man. What's up, everybody? What's up, Intuitive Sheepdogs? Welcome to another podcast episode of the Intuitive Sheepdog Podcast with your host, me, Autumn Schmidt. So excited to have you here today. I'm really freaking excited because we have a good friend of mine, and she's also a channeler. So she channels what we'd call a collective conscious from the universe. And you're going to hear her talk a little bit about this pandemic, kind of what's going on with the coronavirus, what's going on with the universe right now, universal energies, things that I've been talking about. You're going to hear her talk to her collective conscious, which is referred to as George. So when she says George, that's what she's talking about. If you are unfamiliar with this and you want to talk to me about this further, you can, as always, message me. But if you've been following me for a little while, then you know I'm totally into this stuff. I channel angels. She channels spirit or spirit guides. So what we're going to be talking about, like I said, is anything and everything to do with this pandemic. We have some questions we want to ask spirit. We are, Kelly and I are both very interested in hearing about this. We're going to talk. We're going to ask George about first responders, specifically people working out on the front lines. That can be any of us and all of us, and what we can do about it. So without further ado, welcome Kelly and George. We are very excited to have you here.
We are here, and we are also excited to be able to talk about this topic with you all.
We are excited. So, George, I was just hoping that you might be able to, can you talk to us just like a little bit about what the hell is going on right now?
It literally is what it looks like. It's a global shift. So we want to just kind of get everyone kind of at least open to the idea of focusing that it is a global shift. All of humanity is now finally interconnected. And although right now it might seem scary, there's some sadness, there's some grief, there's some chaos, if you recognize that we're now globally connected, you'll be able to see that the countries as a whole, our hope would be to be working together more collectively. Not necessarily kumbaya, same religion, same political system, but recognizing what goes on here impacts everything else. What goes on there impacts us too. So it's really a shift towards more interconnectedness, more of a focus on, we don't quite know the right word for this, but like love, connection. There's been a lot prior to this of work. The spiritual community likes to call it masculine energy versus feminine energy. There's a little bit more of a scientific realm that calls it chronos time versus chronos time. The quantitative time, here's what I got done. I worked this many hours, received this pay, worked this overtime, received double pay. I saved this many lives. Then there's the qualitative time, which is how much is everyone smiling and a relaxed feeling in their body. That's the shift going on right now. And we will relate it to, we know some of the audience that will be hearing this it's gonna ring home and go, oh yeah, I know that feeling. And for some people, it's gonna be what are they talking about? It's that perspective switch. So Autumn, we're very open to you interjecting different words that you might find would resonate with different audience. It's that personal growth. when you transform the way you see the world, when you grew up with parents in a certain way, and you grew up viewing the world in their way, and some people it happens in high school, some people college, some people vocational school, some people just when they get out on their own, or some people when they get an older mentor and they start to realize, oh, the world as a whole doesn't function the way that I was taught it did. There can be grief and sadness in letting some of those behaviors released. See where we're going with this?
Mm-hmm.
So now there's been enough collective consciousness, mass consciousness are the common words used for it right now. Mm-hmm. Enough people on the planet have been deliberately focused on, there must be a better way to live life. Man, if life is just this grind, there must be a better way. Spiritual community, manifesting more love, manifesting more enjoyment of life. Whether they're into the spirituality, law of attraction, manifesting or not, a lot of people, especially the first responders who are grinding, always in moments of not panic, but chaos, adrenaline, got to be on your toes all the time. There must be a better way. And one way we could word it that we think will resonate, especially with medical professionals. Sometimes you're asked to, well, the other person's not here. We need you to work over, even though it's like violating OSHA or violating these hour regulations. Them simply having most have of course I'm going to do it. They have a strong duty sense, mm-hmm. But they do have but I would love to also see my son's 2-year-old birthday cake be blown out. Mm-hmm. I don't want to send this text to my wife of, hey, just got a call, not good enough right now. Hey, that even little minuscule thought of theirs heavily helped with the shift. Mm. So from your perspective, did we explain well enough the personal shift and how it's going on at a global level now?
Yeah, it really seems like, we're shifting of this like Western like culture of go, 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 go to, the universe is like, we're all at a stop. We're kind of all at like a standstill. And the only way to survive really is you just have to be. Is that correct?
Yes, we love the Western Eastern merging. That's another beautiful way to word it. We want to share, Kelly was scrolling Facebook and she saw a post from a beautiful woman where she went, you guys, I know that this is not fun for a lot of people, but you don't realize I didn't even know there were children and families in my community. I thought I was the only mom with children here. Mm-hmm. I now see the social distancing being respected between households. There's at least 4 families with children in their front yard playing, respecting the social distancing. And she's like, I didn't know there was community. And I see parents who I normally see them rushing in, rushing out, and I see them holding their children. Mm-hmm. So is there scare around money right now? Yes. Is there going to be a mass exodus of people getting evicted? No. No one has the heart to evict out 100 people all at once. No one has the manpower to enforce that. Agreed. It will be scary. Everything's going to pull through.
Thank you. And so a couple of questions that some people have. They want to know about a vaccine or a cure. Do you see anything coming for that?
Of course. It's well on its way. There do need to be, it's hard for us to give you 100% prediction on exact timeline. We don't predict that it's going to take the year that most doctors and scientists say that it will. Mm-hmm. We do see right now, we know that those trials have just started. They at least need 2 to 3 more for it to be somewhat effective. It's kind of like you're aware of the flu vaccine. Mm-hmm. You know how the name of the organization that they look at all the different strains of the different type of flu and they do their best. It's not a guesstimate, educated guess. They apply their best brain power knowledge behind, we think this is the strain that's dominantly going to hit. Mm-hmm. Do they get it right a lot of the times? Yes. Are there some times where they're like, darn, nope, it was a different one. It came out of the blue. It blows our statistics reports out of the water. It was an anomaly. So it's going to be like that for this virus. It's going to take at least 2 to 3 more iterations for there to be some effectiveness. Mm-hmm. But you got to understand the virus as a whole, as it's spreading, is mutating. It's very similar to the flu in that it has different strains. You know, some places didn't affect kids at all. Some are, wait, we have a few kids with it. Some are, no, it's only elder. Some countries are saying, wait, our 40-year-olds are the ones that are getting hit hard. It's mutating as it goes because it's more about that global shift. A lot of the people who are getting hit the hardest, we hate to talk about this, more of a topic this way. When you're going through the personal growth, is there grief of a sadness of friends you have to let go of? Is there grief of a sadness of the way you have to stop viewing yourself, even though you're going to enjoy the new things coming? Some people are against the change. They're now the minority on this planet. Those are the ones who are choosing to return to non-physical. Non-physical and physical enjoys Earth just the same. The only difference is non-physical, people who have crossed over, non-physical, it's more like a fun game of chess. Oh, let's align these people and these people. We have fun deliberately lining people up. Oh my God, I just found this girl, Autumn. She's helping me get trained up so I can become a cop. Her podcasts are so helpful. We view Earth as like a fun way to play chess. But sometimes it's fun to be in the physical where you can feel with your arms, you can have that kiss, that embrace. So we all enjoy Earth. Some are just choosing, wait, I don't want to go through the personal growth. I'm going to enjoy this from non-physical now. So we want to hopefully kind of lighten the load on that shift.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Some people want to know, will the pandemic stop?
There's something with the previous question that we didn't get full completion on. Can you repeat the previous question to us?
I think I said it. Will there be a vaccine? Like, will there be a vaccine?
Okay, we wanted to wrap that up. There's at least 2 to 3 more iterations for there to be some effectiveness of it. We do see before a 12-month time period, one that has a much higher effective rate. Efficacy is what we think it's called in the medical world. So yes, there will be one. It's just going to be very similar to the flu, that it's always going to be morphine, adapting, yada, yada.
Okay. And so do you see this pandemic stopping?
Yes. It's literally, for everyone who knows about the personal growth, you feel like your world's being turned upside down. The globe is in that stage of the shift. It normally takes people between 2 to 3 months for their personal growth. So it's going to be, we would say 4 to 6 months, since it has to spread throughout the different continents. But yes, the pandemic, what do you have a further definition of the pandemic? As a whole, the virus is going to run its course. Humanity is going to adapt. Yes, the shelves will be stocked. That one's harder for us to put a time frame on it. It really depends how quickly people can get to love-based living versus fear. Did that answer your question, though?
Yeah, no, it does. It's just that the next question will help you to clarify that one, is because the next question is a lot of people are very concerned about the economy and money right now. So they're just, with the pandemic, I think what they're alluding to is like, should they be in fear over losing everything?
No. Okay, how do we word this for you? How do we explain this? Okay, so sometimes when there's a job that you're working at that you know isn't right for you anymore, here, we'll give you an example. Kelly was at a company one time. They had a beautiful perk of catering breakfast and lunch for them, and it was high-end, top dollar, organic, as healthy as you want to be, the kombucha, that kind of catering. Kelly was more focused on, but I need more bottom line dollars coming into my pocket. They were, no, the perks is where we're spending our money right now, no pay raises. Kelly went and found another position. It was an extra like 15, 20K a year, very significant when she went there, because she had worked at that company for so long. She just got used to that perk and assumed it was a default norm. When she went to the new place, and they went, oh yeah, sometimes we cater in lunch like once or twice a week, but normally everyone just walks across the street to McDonald's. Poor girl, she had a little bit of a heart attack there. When we're bringing in lunch, Kelly was like, oh goody, I want my like kale salad with craisins, and they brought in Domino's, the $5 pizzas. So it's kind of like, are there going to be some things that are going to be missed? Yes, absolutely. Are there going to be a few? Well, we can't put a number to it. We can't even say few a lot. Are there going to be some people who are going to have their worst case scenario play out before their eyes? Yes, it is. What we can tell you is for the people who have it play out that way,
Mm-hmm.
they're focused on fear. They're focused on everything that could go wrong. It's not
Mm-hmm.
about being safe and thinking, okay, having plan A, plan B, plan C, that's good. It's the people who are fear based
Mm-hmm.
living, they're going to like suffer the brunt of it. What you focus on, you get. And whether you're dealing with spirituality, law of attraction, manifesting or not, everyone can relate to, everyone in a first world country where they buy cars can relate to, oh, I was just thinking of buying that car. Now I see that car everywhere. Oh, I bought this car. Now I see that car everywhere. That highlights what you focus on, you get more of. Oh, I was just thinking about becoming a cop, and look, I stumbled upon Intuitive Sheepdogs podcast. What you focus on, you get. Are you going to allow yourself to loosen up a little bit and go, wow, this sucks. The world's going to shift. I don't be honest and transparent with how you feel. I don't know if I'm ready for this shift. I feel scared. I don't know if I'm going to be able to provide for myself. What Kelly does when she dipped into a little bit of panic, and you know her, she's very high vibe, but she woke up one morning, had a little bit of panic, and she went, oh, I get it, because I'm not hoard buying food right now. I'm worried that what happens when my 2 week supply needs to be replenished. So I get that this panic is actually about me loving myself. It's about me self-perseverance, about me wanting to provide beautifully for myself. So do you see that being honest with where you are at with your feelings? I'm afraid, but that spin to this is really letting me know how much I want to take care of myself. And then as she stays focused on the taking care of myself, well-being,
Mm-hmm.
then the well-being is where you're gonna kind of ride out the little bump in the roller coaster to get to the smooth sailing part.
Mm.
One more story we'd like to share. Kelly, because she has a lot of practice with this, reframing what she focuses on. She's like, that's right. Well-being is what's important to me. Well-being, a calm mind, finances flowing in, a smooth sailing. When she went to the grocery store as a whole.
Can we talk about how funny the sirens are and you're on a cop podcast? That's kind of funny.
We did think that was a little funny. We figured we'd pause while it went through. When Kelly went to the grocery store, she was walking in and they were literally spraying all the carts down and gave her a freshly sprayed cart.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly went, no way. They're like, oh, so sorry for the smell. Kelly was like, no, thank you for this extra step.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly happily went around the grocery store. She brought herself one little wipey, so if she had to grab herself something off the shelf, that action is not necessary, but it made her feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
It is okay to do things that make you feel safe. There's a difference between panic buying, hoard buying, and doing things like wearing gloves to the grocery store, like bringing a wipey down for you. Hoard buying. When Kelly was at the grocery store, the produce was out. Kelly saw a lady. There was garlic. Garlic was the only produce. Kelly saw the lady throwing 10 into her bag. She went up to her and went, ma'am, do you really like garlic? Because she was hoping if the woman was ready to kind of snap out of it, that one little saying would be enough. When she saw her eyes, she realized she's not. Garlic has macro and micro benefits to the body, but not a lot of calories, not a lot of energy.
Right.
So Kelly just went, okay, it's time for me to leave. This is too much going on. Okay.
Yeah.
We want to share a little bit more. She went through the grocery store, bought her few items, and went, I certainly hope things start to smooth down because in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to stop going to the grocery store. I certainly hope it smooths over in 2 weeks. When she was checking out, she was looking at the terminal because she had a little bit of panic in her too. And she went, oh my God, I have to touch that thing. What if I accidentally touch my face? A lady was going by. Her sole job at the grocery store was to continuously walk down the aisle, wiping down all of the terminals. And she went, oh, ma'am, I'm just starting my shift. I'm sorry to make you wait, but let me wipe this down. And Kelly went, okay, I get it. I get what you guys were saying to me, Spirit. Focus on well-being. The next morning when Kelly woke up, she had some low vibes, just not unpleasant feelings. And she went, whoa, okay, so this is letting me know that it's okay to be human. And she went, you know what, inner being soul, angels, God, we don't know the words that non-spiritual people would like for that. She went, I need help feeling better. I want to feel better. I just want to feel better. And so what happened is she had some ideas. Spiritual world calls it inspired action, divine download, to go on a walk. And then she was, guided to do some sprints afterwards. And I was like, really? That's what you want to do, body? She went on the hike. She found a tree where she's able to meditate. She got calm on her way back, or way there. Can't quite remember. She saw houses that were getting construction work done, and they were non-necessary construction work. One guy was getting a new foam installation so that when summer comes in in a couple months where she lives, his heating bill would be less. Because she's like, what are you doing foam installation for? It's winter passed. Oh, but in a couple months, my bill will be really big. Kelly went, I get it. Business as usual. She walked by another house. She saw a patio just being painted with that paint that solidifies it during rain.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly's translation there. And Kelly went, oh, I get it. Business as usual. All right, universe, who needs my services right now? I'm ready to connect with them. She had a sales call. The lady purchased. Business as usual. For the people who have lost their jobs, all right, I want to know a new way that I can earn money. If they focus on that, we in non-physical, we love playing chess and we love finding those creative solutions.
So it's really about focusing on the solution, not the problem.
Yes, 100%.
So some people think that this is a conspiracy theory. So I'm just going to tell you what they think, and I'd love for you to chime in. People want to know if this was man-made, and if this was made because as a means of population reduction, or if it was made to cover up for mass arrests that are going on worldwide.
We're going to do questions one at a time. So conspiracy theory topic. The first question was it man-made?
Right.
So was it manufactured in the lab? No. Was it, if you heard us earlier in the beginning where we said everyone, even those thoughts from people who aren't believers in law of attraction, which law of attraction is gravity, it exists, I wish I could help this patient and be at my son's birthday party too. So was it man's intention that brought about this global shift? Yes. Was it manufactured in the lab as like a bioweapon? No.
Thank you. And so it's not a cover-up for mass arrests going on worldwide.
Okay. No. We do see that some people who are that power struggle, are they taking advantage of the situation? Yes, that is happening. But this was not a cover-up to hide that. That was let's take advantage of this. And it's not as big as people think. We do want to highlight that the people who are heavily calling forth those type of stories, it's about recognizing that they feel powerless in their life, and that's what they're rendezvousing with. Kelly's focused on well-being. She gets terminals wiped down for her perfectly before she gets there. She bumps into stories of business as usual, friends who call her and they're uplifting. People who are attracting that, there's something in their life that they feel powerless about. There's this person outside, it's unhealed trauma from when they're younger. This person who was bigger than me, this person who knew more than me, took advantage of me. They're the ones that are attracting that type of information.
Got it. Do you know how long this will affect the restaurants?
As of right now, when it starts in a city, we see about 2 to 3 months when it starts in that area.
Okay. Do you have any specific vitamins or herbs that we could take to prevent it?
Ooh, that's a good question. Kelly's the translator. She doesn't have all the herbs and vitamins in front of her. So if there was a list presented to us, if there was That would be something we'd probably do later. We could just email
Okay.
up to people. It could
Okay.
be yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. So that's just, Kelly's the translator. She doesn't have that knowledge. We will say vitamin C, have anything that helps boost your immune system. The vitamin C, Kelly knows that one. That elderberry will help. Anything that keeps your body in the flow, drinking more water will 100% help. Sleeping enough.
Mm-hmm.
Just that's from the vocabulary of knowledge that Kelly has in that area. That's all we can say. If you know it to help with the immune system, help your body build antibodies, help your body flush out toxins quicker, not necessarily liver. You want to focus on heart health. You want to focus on the limbic system. You want to focus on immunity, not like the kidney and the liver that filters out things that help your body rebuild new cells.
I think that's actually a really good answer, to be honest. How long will the schools be out for?
That one's harder. That one's harder for us to answer. And every country is going to handle this one differently. That's why it's hard for us to answer. The restaurants, we could say 2 to 3 months because the virus has to run its course in a city. And then it will take, a couple weeks for some people to be the first kind of brave ones, you guys would probably call them, to go and eat there. Oh, didn't get sick, then more will come, then more will come. So that's why we could say 2 to 3 months on that one. School systems, there will be some areas where they're like, I have to go to work, who's going to watch my children? It's going to be that weighing of risk and balances, or pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't fully run its course, but we need to earn income. Every place is going to have a different solution to that. We do see a 5 to 6 month kind of, what is school for? What do we actually need to teach? Like, for example, you brought up Western, Eastern. In Eastern society, they heavily teach empathy in school. After the last 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, the last thing of every course, they have the students actually wipe down, clean the area, sweep the floor before they go to the next classroom. There's going to be some heavy reevaluation of what are the important things that we actually want to teach our children, as much as the people who are getting hit hardest right now, the hourly, service-based, retail. The school systems, Kelly's favorite way is, they taught us about parallelograms and trapezoids. Why don't I know about taxes? Why am I just now learning about EFT, actively managed index funds, passively managed index funds, cryptocurrency? Kelly's starting to recognize that money is a man-made thing. It's not a natural resource that you have a seed that you go and buy and universe, how do I take care of this unless it flourishes? It's a man-made thing. Kelly went, I get it. Every country is just pretty much creating more debt for themselves because it's just a common thing that all humans have agreed to. I have this object, you have that object, I want your object, you don't want my object that I create. Well, here, I'll give you money, this third thing. So it is a creation of man. It has a language. It has a knowledge behind it. It has a way so money can earn money for you. Schools are going to heavily go. So when you say how long will schools be impacted? Will they be out of school 5 to 6 months? Likely not. That's probably going to be another 2. Every place is going to be different. It's going to be much shorter than that. But is there going to be heavy reevaluation of what are we teaching them? Because this level of, okay, America, we'll focus on America right now. Republican versus Democrat. Most people have enough understanding of that. There was no, they should manage their finances better. You never taught us that. What happens when you get big enough mass that they now don't have income to buy the new iPhone that comes out for the people who stereotypically lean on the Republican side? Are they going to start caring about it then? You bet they will. Both sides. The people on the Democratic side, instead of living through the way they've learned to teach money from their family, okay, well, how do I earn more money? They're going to start asking those questions, and what you focus on, you get. They're heavily going to be more incentivized to take that fear. And you can relate to this one. Kelly and you both relate to this one. Kelly was hitting a lot of fear with going live with her gift. People are going to think this, people are going to think that, maybe I'm crazy. And she just didn't take the leap. So yes, we will admit, actually, let's not go there. There was a period in Kelly's life where she didn't want to work a full-time job where she lived because she wanted to go on hikes. The part-time job, she thought it was a consistent 20 hours a week. It covered her bills. It covered minimal savings. It covered minimal debt paying down. It covered the bases. Kelly wanted the time to hike. When there was a little bit of a 2 to 3 hours here or there, after the course of a year, Kelly went, wait, this much got taken out of my savings account just because it was a little 2 hours this week, a little 3 hours this week, 1 hour this week. It made Kelly go, okay, I know without a shadow of a doubt that I don't want to go back to the corporate world. How do I earn money? She had that incentive to, all right, what's this Facebook thing? I guess I just have to do my first one. Did she find groups that had no one she knew in them? And would she go live and then delete it right away? Yes. Would she go live and then leave it up? And now look at her. Now she always said she would never touch global times, global things. And now she's like, oh yeah, we got to do this. It's that it's going to incentivize them to, okay, how do I learn about this money thing? How do I learn to negotiate to ask for more money for my hour? How do I learn to okay, so it's going to help everyone. It's going to help the Republicans realize we're all interconnected and wait, we actually do need to help them because if, they can't pay their rent. I'm a landlord. If I have 10 people in my 10 unit building who can't pay rent, that fucks me over. Government, what are you going to do about it? So you see how it's really going to help both sides. One side, it's going to help them learn about self-perseverance, taking care of yourself more, being willing to grow, self-education on topics, take that leap into fear and doing things differently than your parents and family generational stuff passed down. Will also help the other side recognize, oh wait, we're all connected. Oh wait, as much as we need the private sector to kind of lead the path on finding the vaccine, we can't have the private sector have a huge profit margin on this because this virus is highly contagious. So even if I get the vaccine, if it runs around with the people who can't afford the vaccine, if they get a different strain of it, remember earlier we said the flu has different strains and each year they do their best to, this is the one that we think will help the most people. They're going to realize they could just reinfect me. So it's really about a global shift of not we are one kumbaya, but hey, my actions impact you and your actions impact me.
Okay. And can you just say, is there anything that like our first responders, our healthcare providers, is there anything that they could be doing better right now to protect themselves?
You may not like this answer. And we're going to go in particular to like EMTs, people who are on the lower pain totem pole of the first responders. Kelly was watching memes, TikToks, and she was a little just taken aback by them going, wait a second, I have to work mandatory overtime all the time. I have to this, I have to that. My boss won't give me time off. I don't consider him like everyone else. Oh, you're confirmed COVID-19. Can you come cough in my face? It's that there's obviously a defeated attitude in them. There's obviously I have to suffer so others can thrive. And there's also I can't speak up for myself. The only way that I can be allowed to take care of myself is if I get sick and taken out, need to be on a respirator. So some of them need to have, they're not focused on the problem. They're not focused on a solution. They're just, fuck it, let me get sick. So I justify taking time off. They need to wake up and get out of that. Who's gonna lead the revolution, the change, hey, we like doing our job. We can't do it more than 40 hours a week. So talk to us a little bit more about we want to help first responders more in this.
Well, you're saying it's more like a mindset shift for them.
It's 100%. Okay, yes. So EMTs, we highlighted there's enough. If you have additional questions, ask us, but let's go for doctors. They tend to have I gotta save you, I gotta save you, I gotta save you. And it kind of results from proving themselves. For some people, it's, I have to prove to my family that I can continue the family lineage of being a doctor, white collar worker. Some of them, it's, dang, my parents had this and the science world wasn't helping save them enough, so I got to research this. They get heavily micro-focused in, and a lot of momentum built up on, I got to save this, I got to save this, I got to save this, that they lose touch with enjoying life. And non-physical, physical. Us and non-physical, for us, it's a fun chess game. At some point, we go, wait a second, there's this like world wonder. I need to go experience that. I'm going to go into physical now. Or sometimes they're like, wait, what's this internet thing? I was around back in farmland. I want to come back around and experience this internet thing. Mm. They need to, it's 100% a mindset shift for all of them. So here's another area, different kind of topic on it. Kelly hears a lot of doctors who don't speak so positively about the administrators and business people who run the hospitals. I'm being told by insurance, I'm being told by the CEO of my hospital that I can't offer this service to this patient who needs it. Mm-hmm. They're in this place of, look how good I'm trying to be. Someone else is preventing me from being the good Samaritan I want to be. They're the evil ones. The bottom line is, money in the current state matters. If it's not money, your time matters. If you don't have the CEOs clamping down, you can't work more than 80 hours a week. The doctors get I've hit my limit, except for this pandemic. I've hit my limit. I can't work anymore. Hey, the boss man said that rule. So do you see how sometimes they're like, boss man set the rule. You can't call me to work for 3 days. They like it. When it's, I can't give this life-saving thing to this person, they're saying no, they don't like it. Mm-hmm. And some of them, they have a hard time charging for their services. Mm. That's the value the business people add. So it's kind of like learning how it's a mindset shift. Does that highlight it enough? Mm-hmm. We'd love to talk about this topic more if you could have more questions, or if you have any more.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I have that many more. I mean, you know, we already touched on like they need to be having the vitamin C and they need to be drinking a lot of water, washing their hands. Elderberry is good. And you talked about how you suggest people focus on the good and the well-being and not, even though, I mean, as first responders and healthcare providers, I mean, it's a little hard when all you see is the problem, but I like the way that you're putting it.
Well, let us give you an example on that topic right there. So Kelly has a very close family member who served in the military, saw active combat, a ranger, a special unit in the military. Kelly grew up in a very chaotic environment younger. Going to war was an extension of an environment he was used to. Can you see that? Mm-hmm. Many people who are drawn to those adrenaline pumping type things, they do have unhealed trauma.
Okay.
So it's kind of recognizing what's attracting me, because for a lot of them, it gives them that alive feeling. Oh, I'm just laying. Oh, someone came in with this. They get that alive feeling. So they would have to ask themselves, why am I drawn to this? What do I like about it? Oh, I know. I feel so alive. And there's so much gratification from having a second chance at life. What are new ways, what you focus on, you get? What are new ways I could start to feel alive? What are new ways I could start to feel alive? And then just play an experiment with them. In time, if they play an experiment with that, they'll be able to let go of the old way of getting things done and move to the new way of getting things done. First responders as a whole, they have to morph, let go of, morph, transition, self-sacrifice so others can thrive. Self-sacrifice so that I have a chance of thriving later in life. And there's a need for validation of, look how good I am, look how much I do, kind of a little bit that Western do.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm doing good. I picked up this overtime shift. I did this, I did that. I didn't leave my buddies at the hospital hanging. I didn't leave my fellow cops hanging. I even though I worked 100 hours, 6 days a week on that, my one day off where I could stand a chance to relax a little, I still went to my buddy's baby shower and or whatever social gathering it is. But what do they all do? They talk about what they saw during the week.
Mm. Yep.
It's really about letting go of that.
Got it. Now, another question people are asking is how this is going to be, and you kind of touched on this. So it's really about like a new time for new growth, new structures, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see, like, is there going to be like a new money structure? Do you know?
Not likely in the short term.
Okay.
There will be a reconsidering of wealth distribution. And it's not about, the rich giving to the poor. There will be a reconsideration of it's supply and demand. A lot of people say, right, but my skill, not all people have it. I therefore can charge more. Your skill, there's 20 people who will be lined up tomorrow to do your job. You're therefore only getting $7 an hour, $10 an hour. I'm going to be nice and pay $15 an hour. There's going to be a reevaluation of, even though there's this is that love and connection, the feminine, the qualitative. Even though I know that there's 20 people who do this job, you know what? You're the one doing it. You're the one part contributing. You're the one sanitizing everything. Because
Mm-hmm.
imagine that if you had the cleaners paid more,
Mm-hmm.
they had a better feeling of pride. They had a little bit more respect from people.
Mm-hmm.
Then the virus may not spread as much. So there'll be a little bit. It's a waking up of how time is valued.
Mm. Okay. Excellent. And is there anything that you want to leave us with, George?
It's really about, you've got to ride this wave out, right? A tsunami has hit. It's got to go through its full force and come back out. How are you going to relocate that city? How are you going to what do you now know is important to you? And are you now going to allow yourself to be open to ways, ideas, brainstorming of how that new way of living can be met? This is vital. This is such a good time to reset your energy and reprioritize what's important for you guys. And if you help with that mindset shift, you have first responders now. They're the ones who are we would say most of the populations out there, they're the least aware of the personal growth, but there's people like you stepping up to guide them. So can they be willing to, you know what, I don't like this. You know what, this sucks. Instead of that, how do we work, not be, yeah, well, I got to do it. This is just the way it is. If you catch yourself saying this is just the way it is, can you go, you know what? I don't see another way for this to go. I just know I want to be enjoying the park. I want to be enjoying this. I have no effing idea how that can happen. But it would be nice to enjoy these things. Then you could be guided to people who can help you. You won't be guided to those fluff it up. Kelly's very spiritual, but she's not let's balance your heart chakra. She's like, nope, here's what happened when you were 6. Here's what needs to get cleared up. But then there's even you who's further in the grounded state. Hey, here's anxiety. Here's actual things you need to do. Once we get you calm, then I can get you your perspective shift. If they would just be willing to admit, I think this is the way it works. I don't like that. If there's a different way it could happen, even if they're in a state of disbelief, I don't see how it can be different. If there is a way, though, I'd sure love to see that, you chess players up there. That's all we need. And then we can come in and we can guide you to the right person.
I love that. It's beautiful.
Everyone's going to be fine. This is going to smooth over. Grocery stores will replenish. Society will come back. And it's going to be a more love-based way of living life. That is what we can give you guys.
It's really wonderful. Well, I thank you so much. You know, there's just so much fear and worry. And so it's really nice to hear you and you know, and give the loving messages that you've given today. And so we really appreciate you, George. Kelly, we love and appreciate you as well. Kelly, are you able to tell people where they can find you on the socials?
Oh man. Wow. Autumn, great. Can I really quick, great questions there. I love those questions that you asked. That was a delight for me to be able to hear those.
It was good.
Questions and the answers. Yeah. Like, wow, now I know how to help some like more people. Well, my website is kellylunt.com. Let's see, my handle on Instagram is, I think, kelly.lunt. I do have a podcast up. It's all Kelly Lunt. Search Kelly Lunt on everything. Kelly Lunt on YouTube. It's all Kelly Lunt if you guys want to like stay connected and see more of my type of content. But thank you, Autumn. That was wonderful.
Yay. Thank you so much for being on here. Sheepdog Nation, I'll see you.
Oh, Autumn, really quick. I'm going to share this with my people. Where can my people find you?
Oh, thanks. Intuitive Sheepdog. Look at me on Instagram, Intuitive Sheepdog. I have an Intuitive Sheepdog podcast. Obviously, this is it. I have an Intuitive Sheepdog Facebook group is actually what I meant to say as well. And Autumn Clifford Schmidt on Facebook. Thanks.
Okay, I'll make sure to link that for all my people who are watching. So I'll make sure to link it however it's linked on whatever platform it's going on.
Love it. Thank you. All right, Sheepdog Nation. This time I really will see you next time.
They buried me in the water and I came, I knew. Now I'm baptized in blue. I'm a winner, never quit. I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit. See, I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a fighter, never winner, never quit. I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit. See, I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. They buried me in the water in the Holy Ghost. I came out with a badge and gun and a heart that said never run. I signed up for a job you wouldn't dare to do. This ain't no green screen movie, don't compare the two. We look at your actions in the elements and everything relevant. If they line up, prepare to pay the consequence. You do dirt, you get cuffed, no bluff. It's ignorant to think we will shoot with your hands up if you the police. You feel the world is against you. Like every call you go to, people trying to tempt you. Well, Hail Mary, Hail Mary, Hail Mary. I ride on the devil, I ain't scary and I ain't worried. You want my life, come take it, it's gonna be a fight. I take it to the light, like Will and Bright. I wouldn't expect you to understand what I do, only the thin blue line, cause they baptized in blue. I'm a fighter, I'm a winner, never quit. I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit. See, I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a fighter, never winner, never quit. I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit. See, I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I can't explain the pain when I see a name on the wall. All I feel is rage, put me in a cage, let me brawl. Sometimes I can't help but cry, like why did he die? I know it was him, but it could have been I. What about the kids? What about the spouse? Yeah, now who gon' put food inside them babies' mouth? It's a bigger picture when the officer down. Domino effect, Blue Nation, family, country, and town. The media don't cover us. Well, maybe Fox, cause MSNBC and CNN surely don't care about cops. Politicians more concerned about protecting the legal instead of laying the law down and protecting the people. Let me get off my soapbox before I curse. I don't seen way too many cops riding in hearse. Well, I wouldn't expect you to understand what I do, only the thin blue line, cause they baptized in blue. I'm a fighter, I'm a winner, never quit. I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit. See, I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a fighter, never winner, never quit. I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit. See, I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. If I'm faced with a mission, I'm gonna complete it. If that means being deleted, I live with the credence. I do this for the combat vets and Leos. When I'm suited, ready to go, it's either friend or foe. Only Lord knows what my future's in store. I only kill with the hope to see more, so God don't close that door. If I take a life, it's him or me, with the hopes to survive, not bigotry. I go in situations that you cannot imagine, deal with things that you cannot fathom. No, it buts or rather, I'd rather to fight for a cause and live for nothing. So when you read my headstone, you know I died for something. You hypersensitive, she complain by justified force. You blame the cops first, that don't work, you blame the courts. But I wouldn't expect you to understand what I do, only the thin blue line, cause they baptized in blue. I'm a fighter, I'm a winner, never quit, I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit, I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a fighter, never winner, never quit, I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit, I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue.